You and Your Young Child, a program of information and services available for you and your child from prenatal to age 5. You and Your Young Child has been brought to you in part by Minor Family Dentistry and by the Sternberg Museum of Natural History. Minor Family Dentistry would like to bring you the following dental health tip. It's recommended to have a dental checkup no later than your child's first birthday. An adult should brush for a young child and monitor older children's brushing to ensure a good job is done. Flossing should start when teeth are touching. Minor Family Dentistry wishes you good dental health. Families, including children of all ages, are welcome. Minor Family Dentistry, 1010 Downing and Hayes. Find them in the Next Tech directory.
Stop! Where are we going?
The Sternberg!
Don't get left behind. We're waiting for you here at the Sternberg Museum, where there's always new opportunities for
Discovery under the dome.
Hello, and welcome to You and Your Young Child, the program devoted to early childhood. My name is Dana Stanton, and I'm the coordinator of Early Childhood Grants for USD 489. And with me today is Susan Schlichting. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning, Dana.
Now, first of all, Susan, tell us, what organization do you work for and what do you do there?
I work for K-State Research and Extension here in Ellis County, and I work with the 4-H program. So I get the opportunity to work with the families and the leaders and the parents and the 4-H clubs.
Awesome. Now, you're going to tell me about a specific part of the 4-H program, and that's the Cloverbud program. So tell us more about that.
All right, well, it's a relatively new thing here in Ellis County. It is a program for 5- and 6-year-olds to allow them to have an opportunity to be part of 4-H, but not to be involved in some of the things that aren't as age appropriate.
Mm-hmm. So why would you need a special program for just 5- and 6-year-olds?
Well, 5- and 6-year-olds, probably the things like teaching them parliamentary procedure is not real appropriate for them. It's boring, and so we've come up with this program that allows them to do some things during business meetings that can be more fun and more interesting and educational for them.
Mm-hmm. Now, are there special meetings for your 5- and 6-year-old Cloverbuds?
Yeah, the clubs have a meeting once a month, and in that meeting, usually the Cloverbuds stay for the beginning of the meeting for the introduction and the pledges of allegiance and the 4-H pledge and such, and then they go off into a special space and do their own activity while the business portion of the meeting is being conducted. And then they'll come back and watch the demonstrations that are given, and sometimes they even participate in their own demonstrations or show and tell type activities, which last night I was at a 4-H club, and one of the newer Cloverbuds, a 6-year-old, got up and talked about her coin collection.
I remember we called it Share the Fun in my 4-H program when we got to share about things. Now, what are some of the different, I know there's like learning sessions and learning activities. What kind of things could happen for the Cloverbuds?
Well, we have several curriculum that the 4-Hers use or the leaders use to introduce them to things like food and nutrition, things like outdoor environment, things like going out and collecting leaves and looking at the nature and the environment around us. There are some physical fitness and exercise things. There's a section on recycling and that kind of issues. And there's music and just lots of different things that help kids to explore the world around them.
Now, say there was a parent out there who was interested in signing up their child, their 5- or 6-year-old, for Cloverbuds. How would they do that?
They would contact our office to get more information about the clubs that are available in Ellis County, or you can visit our website, ellis.ksu.edu, and on the 4-H page there's some information about our clubs. And there are 8 clubs in Ellis County, and each club meets at a different time and place, and some of them have different focuses, like the horse club is very much focused on the horse project, and so you look for a club that fits with maybe your child has friends that are in 4-H, or maybe you have a particular interest that you'd like to know more about. And so you look at those things and see what fits best for your family, then go visit the club. And the club leaders have the enrollment forms that you would need to get enrolled in the program.
Now, you might have said this and I just spaced it out. Monthly meetings, weekly meetings, how does that work?
It's a monthly meeting, typically, and most clubs meet year-round. So it's 11 or 12 meetings a year generally. A lot of times they'll take the month of the county fair off or do a club tour where they go around and they look at each of the kids' projects during that time rather than a structured meeting.
Now, what is there an enrollment fee or an activity fee that's associated with Cloverbuds or any 4-H program?
There is not an enrollment fee to join 4-H at this time. It is based on what projects you get involved in. And so for the Cloverbuds, it's usually very minimal, if any cost at all. The club generally will have the supplies for the crafts or the activities there, and so it's not a cost to the families. As they get a little older, say they want to take the dog project, well, then there are costs that are associated with raising a dog. Yeah. And so then you incur those costs. Or if you're into the photography project, there would be costs of developing a photo and having those displayed at the fair, or just having them displayed for your own personal use. So it's up to the family as to how much they want to spend on the program, but there is not an enrollment fee.
Now, when you take your 5 and 6-year-old, that's a fairly young child. Does mom and dad, do they need to stay there? Is this something where you can drop them off? That sort of thing.
We typically prefer that parents stay. 4-H is a family affair, and the kids get the most out of it when the families are all involved in it. There are rare occasions when a parent has to work and they can't stay, that maybe they are provided with a buddy within the club that they can sit with and be with, rather than to just be dropped off and left alone.
Now, if someone, you mentioned the website, so if someone had more information and just needed to talk to someone, could they give you a call?
Absolutely.
Okay, and what is your phone number?
Our phone number is 628-9430.
Okay, and give us that website one more time.
www.ellis.ksu.edu.
All right, and we'll put that on the bottom of the screen so everyone can see it. Susan, thank you so much for talking to us today about 4-H Cloverbuds. It sounds like a wonderful activity. If you got a 5 or 6-year-old, go to the website or give Susan a call. Thank you so much. You've been watching You and Your Young Child, the program devoted to early childhood. Parents, remember, you are your child's first and best teacher. Thank you.
Thanks for watching You and Your Young Child, a program of information and services available for you and your child from prenatal to age 5. You can watch the program weekdays in the noon and 9 o'clock hours. You and Your Young Child has been brought to you in part by Minor Family Dentistry and by the Sternberg Museum of Natural History.